This is Golo, and today I will show you my office. So this is my office, and this is my co-supervisor's table, and this is my table. So, and this is the outside view from our office. So this is basically residential area. So the city is about 2 kilometer this way, the city center. But here there are like residential dormitories, home, hostels like this. So today the topic on which we are going to talk about is the difference between Chinese and Japanese language. I took this topic because I think it will be interesting. Of course, I cannot teach you Japanese or Chinese just in a 5 minutes or 6 minutes video, but you will be able to differentiate that how these language systems works. So you will get just a little idea about both these language systems, because these both languages are totally different from our language system, because we use alphabetical system like English. So basically in both these languages they use characters. So like characters is the, in English we call characters, and the same thing in Chinese is called hanzi, in Japanese is called kanji. So basically the character is same, but Japanese people call it kanji, Chinese people call it hanzi. So similarly for lots of words, more than I would say 70% of the characters in Japanese language are taken from the Chinese. So the meaning of the words is the same, but the pronunciation is totally different. Which language is more easier? Japanese is more easier or Chinese is more easier? I will say it depends. If you say from a speaking perspective, then I will say Chinese is a lot easier than Japanese. Writing point of view, then I will say that Japanese is easier, because in Chinese there are so many characters, but in Japanese the characters are really limited. They have limited characters, and if you memorize those limited characters, it means you memorized all of those characters. If I talk about the grammar, the Chinese grammar is a lot easier than Japanese grammar. Japanese grammar is so complicated, they have so many connecting words, and with the situation, in the end of the word, in the end of sentence, the things will change. That's why it makes the Japanese more difficult as compared to Chinese. So the next difference is that between the Chinese and Japanese language, the Chinese is basically a tonal language. There are tones in Chinese, whereas Japanese does not have tones. Uh, when I was in China, like when we started to learn initially, whatever we were learning in the class, and we were going and practicing at the shop or something, like whatever we were saying, but they were not getting it because we were not using the right tone. So tones really make big difference in Chinese language. Whereas in Japanese, if you say something, if you have some pronunciation, like if your pronunciation is not correct, still they will get it what you want to say. But in Chinese, if you made a slight difference in the tone, the meaning of the word will totally change, and they will not get your meaning. For example, here we have four words with different tones. For example, this is first tone is like this. We give some symbols on the tones, and second is like this, third is like this, and then fourth is like this. So for example, first is ma, second is ma, 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 ma. So now the meaning of all the words is totally different. And the characters, these are the characters. This is character for the first word, second, third, fourth. And the meaning of all the words different. So when you're talking to someone, you have to be really careful in Chinese. You have to be really careful with the tones, that which tone you are using. If you're using, for example, this ma, it means mother. Ma means fiber. Ma means horse. And then this is ma, which is, you have to be really careful with this ma, because it has really something wrong meaning, something kind of F word. Okay, so this happens in Chinese language, that we have tones in Chinese language. So this thing you will get used to when you are talking to the people, like the Chinese people. When you practice your Chinese with them, like you will be catching the words when they speak. So then, because with remembering that, they have to keep in mind which tone will be used, I think it's impossible. So just you have to communicate more with Chinese people, with the locals, and then you will get used to with the tones, and you will even not know that I'm using the right tone. You will not focus on it. You will just talk, and but it will be correct. So this is the, so similarly here in Japanese we don't have tones. So the next thing is that in Chinese language you cannot write each and everything. If there is any machine, for example, in our language, mobile, we call it mobile. Television, we call it television. Radio, we call it radio. But there are so many things we call them with the English same names. But Chinese is not like this. If there is any new device, came, someone invented a new device, if there is some English name to it, they will give it a Chinese name, because they cannot say it as it is in English. But here in Japanese, they have another way of writing. So they somehow resemblance to that, not exactly that like that one, but somehow very close to that one. They will give it some name and they will pronounce it. They will make it Japanese, but it will be similar like English. For example, if there is any country, if they talk about in Chinese news, if they talk about that country, and if there is a new president for that country, so they have to make a name for that person. If there is no name, if there is any machine they invented, any English person invented, and they want to research on that machine, so when they talk about it in Chinese, they will not use the English name. They will make a Chinese name for it. For example, my name, when I went there in 2015, when I went to China, I was there for 3 years, and in the first year I learned Chinese. So in the first year, they asked names, but it is really hard for them to memorize our names, because our names are totally different from their names. So they decided that they gave us English Chinese names. So for example, my name is Allah Rakyo. Said, so they took this part of my name, and then they gave me a Chinese name. So that was my name for during my course. They gave me the name Ran Kai. Ran Kai. So this name is basically not possible to write in Chinese language, but this is my name in Chinese characters. My writing is not so good. So this is how my name. This is Run, and this is Kai. So next we will talk about Japanese language. Now the next thing is that, as I said, that Chinese language has only one way of writing, and that's using characters. In Japanese, they also have characters, but they also have two other ways of writing. Kanji. Kanji means Chinese characters. There is katakana. So difference between hiragana and katakana is that in Japanese language, when you are writing a letter, writing a thesis, if there is a foreign word which is not a Japanese word, if you talk about a person who is not a Japanese, if you want to write his name, then you will write it using this katakana. So katakana is used for basically writing foreign words. It can be English, it can be Chinese, it can be Russian, it can be any word. So using for writing those words, they use katakana. So for example here, this is the way. A, I, U, A, O. Ka, ki, ku, ke, ko. Ra, ri, ru, re, ro. So there are so many like this. So for example now, if I want to write down my name in Japanese language, so how we will write it? So basically there's no L. There is no, this is Ra, but there is no LA. There's no L sound in Japanese language. So then the problem is that how to write this, and the combination should be of these words, like these kind of words, then we can write it. At the end it is always like this, A or K or ku, K, ku in the word. For example here there is A, so I can take okay A. But now there is no combination like double L or LA or AH. So they will call me in their language what they can pronounce for this name. They will call me Ara. They cannot say L. So it will be like A, and then this is Ra. Ara. So they will say Ara. And then the next part in my name is Rakyo. So for example, RA, they have RA, Ra. Do they have KH? They don't have. They don't have KH. So when they write down my name, they just skip the H. And then they write KI, which is KI, key. Ra key. So it will be like Ra key, and then O. O is here. So then this is O. So it will be like A, Ra, Ara, Rakyo. So this is how they will write if there is a name. If they will find the combination among these katakana characters, they will be able to write. Otherwise, they will, but still they can write little bit in combination, which you can understand what they really want to say. So this is how Japanese and Chinese languages works. I hope you liked the video. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you for watching the video. Take care. Bye bye.